Hello and welcome everyone to another inventRight.com TV show. Steve and I have been coaching and mentoring inventors for the last 14 years with students in over 40 countries. Stephen, what kind of advice are we offering today? Why are you sleeping? Am I that boring?
Go play golf.
Why are you sleeping?
Hey,
don't fall asleep.
I'll tell you, yesterday I was interviewed from this reporter and he said, look, I read your book. This has to be too good to be true.
Oh, okay.
I loved that. I loved how he started that off because it does sound too good to be true. I love that. And I said, well, yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's what I told him. I go, but it's not. And he said to me, well, Steve, why aren't more people getting involved in licensing? Why don't people know about licensing? Why don't they know that's another type of business model? Why don't they know that they don't have to start a business? Why aren't they teaching this in universities? Why is it just you two guys? I mean, you're out there talking about it.
It's not just.
Well, kind of. He asked, I don't understand. And I said, what we've been sharing with everybody, what we've been teaching with everybody has been another type of business model. And people relate to it, Andrew, because like myself, I didn't want to start a business.
Right.
And I didn't want to take the risk. And I knew deep down that if you show a company how to sell more product, they're going to pay you. And I told them, I go, this business model has been going on for years. Now, it's been going on in the music business, publishing business, the toy and novelty gift business forever. And he kind of said he was surprised. I said, no, what's happening is that more companies are looking for ideas and working with freelancers now because it lowers their cost of R&D. It's good business to open the doors. And they're willing to pay you royalties, and you don't even have to have a patent. He was like, how's that possible? Because I always hear, hey, on Shark Tank, hey, you got a patent on that. Everybody's like, hey, well, you don't have any patent? Oh, that's not worth anything. It's just not true. What's true and what you and I are seeing almost weekly now of our students signing licensing agreements is that there isn't any patents involved at all. They might file one and you make them pay for it, but what's important today is new products coming to them, they can get them out to the store shelves as fast as they can. It's all about speed and distribution and good customer service. So this whole thing has changed. It's not like this little inventor that's going to spend all this money on patents, build the prototypes, and then maybe try to get it to the marketplace himself.
Yeah. Well, it's extremely empowering, and people get really kind of, almost giddy when they find out about licensing and the inventRight approach, because they thought they needed $15,000 for a patent because Uncle Joe said, you better get a patent on that. And then they thought they needed to $5,000 for a prototype because I got to prove it. I got to make a prototype, when quite often with the patent, you can get a $65 provisional patent. With the prototype, sometimes your prototype is literally something you paid somebody $20, $30 to Photoshop. Maybe you went down the store and cannibalized something. Maybe it's something more. Maybe do a fancy 3D print. But quite often you can get away with a lot less than you think because you're not selling your prototype or your patent. You're selling the benefit of the idea. And so like one of our former students, who's now one of our coaches, David, he created that beer can cozy, soda can cozy, where the chill puck screws into the bottom. Now, he was a waiter before he came to us. He was able to get it to a certain point with the technology, but they needed to finish it out, and they did. And people are like, well, they'll do that for you? Yeah, a lot of companies will. It was beyond his technical expertise as far as engineering goes. And so people are just blown away. You don't have to go with, Steve and I are both originally from Silicon Valley. And I don't call it venture capital, I call it vulture capital. Those guys, they'll put their money in, you'll put your money in, they'll suck the life out of you. I'm exaggerating to make a point here, guys. And then they'll throw you aside like a piece of garbage when they're done with you. Okay, that's over-exaggeration. But licensing is the opposite. Licensing is their money. You're getting them working for you. Their sales, marketing, manufacturing, advertising. You tap into existing distribution. You're not creating a one SKU, one product company from scratch like on Shark Tank. That's not very appealing. Yes, I'm giving Shark Tank a hard time.
No, but you know what someone said to me, and I think it was really brilliant, because someone that I know has a whole product line, sells to Walmart, and he says, what inventors don't know, especially because of Shark Tank, that they've got one product, they've got one SKU, and they think they're going to get in Walmart. It doesn't happen that way, you guys, because they don't take one SKUs.
Well, Walmart bankrupt so many people because they did at some point, and they got a real bad rep for it.
And
Yeah,
so what we're saying here is that this licensing model, yes, maybe you've heard it for the first time, but it has existed in many industries, and it's existing in more and more. But you have to be educated when you're talking to these companies. And if you're not, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. It's not going to work. You cannot top load deals. You got to show them good sell sheets, and you don't have to run out and file a patent either. You need some protection, perceived ownership with the PPA. That's how this is getting played. But because they're going to, and I'm going to say this is going to sound terrible, because they're getting old information, Andrew, because they're talking to a patent attorney, and I just heard it the other day, give someone fear again. They cannot stop themselves from saying the fear about someone could take it, someone's going to take it quick.
It's very easy to sell fear.
They do it all day long, or they get information from someone that hasn't done it before, or they get it from information that's old information.
Well, or information from a very knowledgeable business person, but licensing is a different animal, guys. You do not get information from a knowledgeable business person about how to license, because it'll be misinformation, pretty much guaranteed.
I'm going to go down the score, and I'm going to get one of those professional guys and ask him about licensing, and he's never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Because I saw that in Kentucky, and the guy was listening to me, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm a coach at SCORE, and I'm here helping everybody." And I said, "Well, tell me about licensing." He goes, "Well, I've never heard of it." That's when you realize.
Or a society core of retired executives, or retired executives that volunteer their time, which is nice of them to do. And if you need like advice on a business plan or different things, but you go to them and you ask about licensing, and they're like, "I don't know." But maybe if they're smart, they'll say, "I don't know," which is what a good advisor would do. Plenty of things even I don't know.
This guy that I was talking to in Kentucky was telling me about fear and people stealing ideas, and I looked at him, I was like,
yeah,
really? So anyway, the point is you've got to get good information. Licensing, getting back to this reporter, I loved him because, like everybody else, it's just too good to be true. And I'm telling everybody, no, it happens every day. Licensing is becoming more and more popular. If you don't want to quit your day job, if you want to get started, if you're a creative guy, learn as much as you can about licensing and get your feet wet. Try it, because it doesn't cost very, very much. And be knowledgeable. Don't just because of fear do some things that are very, very silly. You don't have to do that. That's why I want you to keep listening to this channel.
And if you want to do that, subscribe below. Give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. And we'll catch up with you on the next InventRight.com TV show. See you guys.